everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've last uploaded, but now I'm back with the videos. And in this video today, I'm gonna tell you all about the 2022 BMW X3. Now the X3 is BMW's mid-size SUV, and some might even say that it's BMW's most popular SUV. It sits between the X2, which is their smallest SUV, and the X4, which is the coupe form of the X3. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything about the X3 from the outside features to the inside, and then I'll also talk about its powertrain. So let's get started with the video. Alright, so we're going to start up front by talking about the frontal design of the X3. So as you can see, this is the LCI model, which stands for Life Cycle Impulse, which means that this is the facelifted version of the current generation X3. And as you can see, the LCI has brought about some decent changes, which are slimmer headlamps at the front, a new front bumper design, and a new design for the kidney grille, which haven't grown in size and are still decently sized. And these grills can also open and close depending upon the temperature. So when the engine requires cooling, they open up. And then you also have an air vent down here. And then these headlights are full LEDs, and these are more slimmer than the previous pre-LCI headlights. And then you also have front parking sensors down here. And as you can see, this car is finished in what BMW calls graphite metallic, which is like a really pearlescent color, and it's really looking good in the sunshine out here today. So that's it for the front. Now let's talk about the side. Alright, now from the side of the X3, as you can see, there's not really that much going on here. It's quite a simple design. You have these 19-inch run flat tires up here, which are really cool in design. And then you have this weird decision of fake air vent, which I don't really know why is here, but it adds something to the otherwise boring side design. And then you have some side cladding down here, and then you also have this chrome window surround up here. And now let's go to the back. Alright, now the back of the X3 is where another change from the LCI has happened, which is also its most controversial decision. These are the new tail lamps, and as you can see, they certainly have a very unique design to them. The pre-facelift tail lights were certainly more generic in their styling, and these ones are really more out there. And then you also have the X3 badging down here and the xDrive 30i right here. 30i meaning that this is the 2-liter, which we'll get onto later. And then we also have these dual exhaust pipes down here along with the rear parking sensors. Now let's talk about the boot space of the X3, which is electronic. Of course, you open it by clicking the button down here. And as you can see, it's a decent sized storage area. You also have this partial shelf tray up here, which you can fold away with one tap. And then you also have a 12-volt socket down here. And you can also fold the rear seats from down here, but you have to go all the way back to the seats to do that. But overall, it's a very decently sized cargo area. And in order to close it, you just press this button up here, and then it automatically closes. Now let's go to the interior. Okay, now the interior of the new X3. So as you can see, this has like all BMWs, the same interior. You have the main iDrive screen right here. Down here you have the air conditioning controls, and down here you have the media controls. And this is the cluster of buttons that you get with all the controls for basically everything in the car. Now while this interior is not the latest BMW one where you get the dual screens, but I actually prefer this one because it's actually a lot more intuitive and a lot more easier to use. Now let's dive deep into this system. Now this is iDrive 7 as BMW calls it, and it's a really good system. You can either use it via touch if you want to, or you can use it via this iDrive controller right here, or you can even use it via gesture control if you wanted to. So now let's go into the system. There are a lot of cool things that you can do here. First of all, it has weather, which is not that unique these days, but then you have media here, which is like radio and Bluetooth. You have messages, and you have navigation. Then you go into car with you can have very cool settings. You can go into driving information. You can see trip data with all the information. Now this is a lot of information for a car of this type. I haven't really seen in any other car. You can also go into sport displays, which is again a very unique thing, a G-force meter. You're not really going to use it. Then you can also go into X view, which shows your car's like terrain and all that, which is also really cool. You can also see the elevation here. And then you can go into energy flow, which if you put the car into eco pro, then you get it. And then there are also other things like vehicle status. This is pretty common. Then you can go into settings to change the lighting and all that. You can change the ambient lighting. There are many different options that you can choose from, whatever you like. And then there's also, if you go down into apps, then there's also this M lap timer, which if you wanted to, if you can take your X3 out on a racetrack, and then you can start recording your lap time, which is really unique. And overall, I would say that this is a pretty good system. The screen's good enough, and like it works really well. It's really responsive. So yeah, it's a very good system. Probably the best one out there. And then you also have these climate control vents down here. Controls you have this little screen showing all the information, and you can control everything via these buttons. Then you have the volume knob and the radio presets, which aren't really radio presets if you know your BMWs. And then right here you have the other controls, such as the gear lever. You have the traction control button, the parking assist, and the auto start stop off or on button. You have sport, comfort. If you put the car into sport mode, then the gauge cluster also changes. If you put it back into comfort, then changes, and eco pro, it changes. So yeah, that's really cool. Then you have hill descent control and auto hold right here. And here you have the iDrive controller with all the controls. And this here, as I said, is the gauge cluster, which is not really the best, to be honest. It's not really that much configurable, and there's not that many things that you can see with it. You can only really change the things that come on the side, so that's not really that good. But you do get heads-up display, which is really cool, so you can see your speed limit and the speed you're going and your current line of sight. And speaking of speed limit, you also have active driving assist features. So if you press this button, you would get like all the safety features that this car has to offer, such as blind spot assist, active lane intervention warning, lane keep assist, and all that. So that's really cool. And then you also have some storage down here, so that's really cool. And overall, I would say the quality of the interior is really good, and it really feels luxurious in here. And then up here you also have the controls for the panoramic sunroof, and you also have the controls for the light and the gesture control. So yeah, that's it for the interior. Now let's go outside. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're stopping by my channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.